I've got over half a dozen extraordinary posters here, which I keep, or been kept lurking in a dark part of my collection. Haven't seen the light of day for many of them for many years, so I thought I'd show them to you now. Some of them are really fascinating. Well, here's the best known of them, I think, the Escher Endless Staircase. Extraordinary one, this, showing a lot of gnome-like creatures walking up and down the staircase endlessly and never getting any higher and never getting any lower. It's due to the very clever bit of artwork he's done there to create what's supposed to be a three-dimensional picture but completely flat. Very well known and repeated in so many books and articles, and it's marvellous to look at, and a big large-scale poster of it makes it so much more lookable at. This is Escher's Endless Staircase. Here's a very remarkable poster from the Nature Company of San Francisco, which came out sometime in the early 90s. A very proactive company, and this was a wonderful one they call something like They Walk Again. And it imagines in the artist's mind what would happen if one of these gigantic dinosaurs had walked onto a motorway somewhere in Switzerland or Germany on the border, and was taking, because he's a herbivore, he's not like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, he eats plants. He's had a little swipe of the gardener's truck here of his favourite dish. What extraordinary size he is, this monster, compared with us puny little mammals, human beings, about 100th of the size of that. And this huge, huge, gentle monster lumbers onto the motorway. That would be something to see and never forget. And here's a large poster of the world map. Slightly unusual because it's upside down. When I was travelling far and wide, discovered this being sold to the tourists for a reason will become apparent in a moment. Why should they make a poster which is, there's the normal, the right way up writing, but everything else is reversed or upside down? And the answer is it came from that faraway country, well, from where we live, Australia. The Australian tourist market was selling this in their shops, and it's a delightful idea of making Australia the centre of the world, upside down to the rest of the world, no longer in the way, tucked away in the corner, but right in the middle of the map of the world. That's the way they want to see it. Self-centred world, a bit tongue-in-cheek, but that's Australians being, I think, quite witty. Here's a poster I got on clouds, produced in America. About 30 different pictures of extraordinary cloud formations. I've seen these in books. In fact, I've got a book on clouds and the funny things, but I love the idea of a big display like this where instantly our eyes can roam over the whole range of extraordinary patterns that clouds can take on, and some information about it at the top and in the details, and a bit underneath. So it's a lovely thing to be able to have on the wall and admire. I must take it out, for it's been buried for far too long, and put it up somewhere so I can really enjoy looking at the clouds. Here's something I picked up quite a few years ago, but it shows a picture from perhaps 50 or 100 years ago of text that a picture they would have shown at Bible classes, I suppose, or Sunday school, showing the view of a fairly strict Christian upbringing where you had to go in life through the narrow path into salvation rather than the big broad path which led to wonderful things followed by destruction. Oh dear, yes. Anyway, and there's texts, biblical texts to support the views of every part of the picture as well. So children, if they're doing their religious studies, will be able to turn to the Bible and take up the text and see what the actual words written down which had inspired the artist to depict that on the picture. Lots and lots for kids to be able to do and be quite busy with. It's quite decorative, and yes, I suppose it's certainly very meaningful. Here's a very remarkable poster, I think, an optical illusion par excellence. Have a look. I'll push it forward. It's got lots and lots of black and white, and then suddenly in the middle you get this startling pink heart appears. Just look at that, a little bit furthermore, yes. Isn't that extraordinary? I mean, I've seen this in small picture books, but to see it in full poster size is much, much more meaningful. It really brings it alive. And also if you put movement to it as well. I mean, I don't think you want to put it on the wall this one, because you've got to move it like this, make little ripples, or move sideways like this. Any amount of movement adds enormously to the appearance and the effect you get of this particular poster. Absolutely marvellous. I've got so many of these posters now, I'm not quite sure what to do with them. One suggestion was to put them on my bedroom ceiling, you know, because when I was in a dentist chair many years, I used to see wonderful pictures on the ceiling as I was lying there. But if I'm lying in bed, something like this on the ceiling would be magical, wouldn't it? So I think I've got enough posters for every ceiling in my house now.